Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Money Means Business. My name is Ahmed Nader, and tonight we're going to focus on the latest economic activities in Egypt that took place over the past week, and more specifically in the fields of industry and mining. We will be starting straight away with the main top stories that we have seen for the past 7 days, as Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli met with Ahmed Al-Suwaidi, the President and the CEO of Al-Suwaidi Electric, to review the company's business strategy, the expansion plans, and the investment projects across multiple sectors. Senior company officials also attended the meeting. Madbouli reaffirmed the government's commitment to supporting the Egyptian industrial sector as a cornerstone of the national economy, stressing its role in driving growth, development, and the social progress. He highlighted the ongoing efforts to localize the strategic industries to meet the domestic demand and boost the Egyptian competitiveness in the global markets. The Prime Minister underscored the importance of strengthening the private sector participation, noting the state's continued efforts to expand the role across the diverse industries. Al-Suwaidi emphasized that Egypt offers significant investment opportunities, especially in industry and tourism, amid the current regional developments. He reviewed the company's ongoing projects and the future expansion plans, with the special focus on the automotive industry, including the electric vehicles. And we will be having a quick break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're still watching Money Means Business, and of course we have seen the first top story for the past week, and moving on to the second top story after we have read that Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli had a meeting with the officials and the CEO of Al-Suwaidi Electric. We will be moving to the mining sector as Egypt signed Turkish gold exploration deal. Egypt is intensifying the push to become a regional mining powerhouse after signing the new gold exploration agreement with the Turkish company OZ Mining, as Cairo races to attract the foreign investors into the expanding mineral sector. The agreement, signed under the supervision of the Petroleum and Mineral Resources Minister Karim Badawi, will see the Egyptian and the Turkish teams jointly assess the gold deposits and associated minerals in the Eastern Desert, a region increasingly attracting international mining interest because of the vast untapped reserves. The Memorandum of Understanding was signed between the Egyptian Mineral Resources and Mining Industries Authority and the OZ Mining at the authority's headquarters in Cairo. And still with the mining sector and the activities of the Petroleum Minister Karim Badawi, we will be heading to the report of Money Means Business for this week, as the Minister said that Egypt is to launch an exceptional mining forum edition in the month of September with the attendance of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi.
From inside the Sukkari gold mine, one of the world's largest gold mines, Karim Badawi, Minister of Petroleum and Mineral Resources, announced the launch of an exceptional edition of the Egypt International Mining Forum, the EIMF, under the patronage of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. The event is scheduled to take place on September 28th and 29th in the new capital, with broad international participation from major mining companies and global investors. During an extensive tour of Sukkari, Badawi stated that the forum in its new edition marks the beginning of a new phase for Egypt's mining sector. He highlighted that it aims at enhancing the country's global competitiveness, attracting major international players, and placing Egypt as a regional hub for mining industries. The EIMF is a leading platform that brings together government officials, global mining companies, investors, and industry experts to discuss opportunities as well as developments in Egypt's mining sector. It also aims at promoting investment, showcasing Egypt's mineral potential, and supporting the country's transformation into a regional mining hub. He noted that these efforts align with presidential directives to unlock the full economic potential of Egypt's mineral resources and increase the mining sector's contribution to gross domestic product (GDP) from around 1% to 6%. During the visit, Karim Badawi toured key facilities at Al Sukkari gold mine, including the open pit, maintenance workshops, and processing plant, which produces over 500,000 ounces annually. It's worth mentioning that Sukkari ranks among the world's top 15 gold mines and is a Tier 1 asset. Officials review the sector's recent reforms, including adopting a taxation and royalty-based investment model aligned with global standards, updating executive regulations, and introducing new incentives for exploration. Meanwhile, Huda Mansour, Managing Director of Al Sukkari Gold Mine and Vice Chairman of Anglo Gold, Ashanti, Egypt, affirmed that the company's decision to invest in Sukkari in the second half of 2024 reflects strong confidence in Egypt's investment climate. She noted that Egypt represents the company's first entry into the Middle East. Mansour praised the high level of local expertise at Sukkari, where Egyptians constitute 97% of the workforce. She commended the strong partnership with the government. She added that the presence of a world-class asset like Sukkari underscores Egypt's promising geological potential and supports future discoveries of similar scale. Recently, Anglo Gold, Ashanti, announced that the gross profit of Al Sukkari mine in Egypt during the first quarter of 2026 increased by 80.25% from its level in Q1 2025. Moreover, the total cash cost per ounce of gold produced from the mine during this period came at $826 per ounce, the lowest among all of Anglo Gold's mines in Africa and Australia.
Welcome back. You're still watching Money Means Business, and to be shedding more light on those important topics that we have tackled over the past 10 minutes, I'm honored to be having with me over the phone Dr. Osama Murad, the financial expert. Dr. Osama, thank you very much for being with us tonight on Nile TV International and Money Means Business.
It's my pleasure.
The pleasure is all mine. First of all, how did you see the importance of the government to be committing to the industrial sector and the importance of boosting the industrial sector in Egypt by the government, especially through the private sector?
It's a very important step. The government at the first stage has been focusing on the housing and development, and now there is a shift towards the industrial. There is strong demand. We're actually running out of capacity of land because there is international demand on the land. So it's a great milestone, especially for the government of Madbouli.
Yes, how do you see the importance of the industrial sector and boosting industry in the country and its effects on the driving of growth and development and the social security as well?
The industrial sector is the second largest sector in terms of employment, and it is a very promising sector because of the export opportunities which exist, especially under the current circumstances, and the high employment and the advancement of Egypt. the partnership with Europe, the strategic alliance which has been formed, puts Egypt on the landscape for being an industrial hub for Europe and the rest of the region. We also look at the disturbances which happen in the international arena in geopolitics. Egypt is a great hub for Russia and China, which the distances make them slightly isolated. So it's a great opportunity, and well done by Dr. Madbouli to meet with Mr. Swedi, the head of the Federation of Industries.
Yes.
And thus, I can only praise the step.
Dr. Osama, how do you see the importance of localizing the industries here in Egypt according to the directives of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, as we did see for the past years?
President Sisi has taken this on his agenda since the start of his presidency to localize industries. We've seen that in several sectors which have not been addressed before, be that in the locomotive sector, be that in the transportation sector, be that in the electronic vehicles. So this is not new to the president, and it's a great step for Egypt.
In your opinion, what are the chances of the strategic industries to be meeting the domestic demand here in the country?
I think we're talking a lot about the electronic vehicles, but also I see Egypt on the forefront for solar panels. And I urge on the Prime Minister also to look into the industries of AI and data centers, because Egypt has a strategic advantage and a comparative advantage both. So we should expand on the data centers to serve not only the local demand, but to serve the world.
And speaking of this advantage, do you think that Egypt could be boosting its competitiveness in the global market?
Egypt does not need a lot to boost its competitive advantage. We just need to ease up the restrictions which are there, and to simplify the processes for entering, exiting businesses, expanding, and so on. The amount of paperwork recently has been trying to reduce, but there is a lot of work, especially that Egypt is doing now what we call a dual system, switching from the manual to the digital. So sometimes that puts a burden because the companies have to do both. So we just need to ease the restrictions and also ease the export guarantees and barriers.
In your opinion, Dr. Osama Murad, from the point of view of the government, why is it important to be diversifying the industries in terms of expanding the role of the private sector in those industries?
There is no time where diversification has not been as important as now, especially as we see in the several crises which have hit the world, be that the corona, be that Ukraine and Russia war, be that the Persian war, because each crisis teaches us that we cannot rely on one industry or put all our eggs in one basket. So we have to diversify, because the risks and the volatility in the market are enormous.
Yes, and speaking of diversifying the eggs from one basket, we don't need to be putting them all in one. Do you think that, do you agree with the officials from Swedi Electric and the chairman of the company, Ahmed Swedi, when he stated that significant opportunities lie within the sectors of industry and tourism in terms of investment opportunities?
Mr. El-Tweedy is one of the largest exporters of Egypt in terms
Yes.
of industry. The family is also active slightly in the tourism and hospitality business, but if industry is promising, then tourism is definitely more promising, but we currently have a capacity constraint. Egypt is running out of rooms, so that's why the central bank is giving incentives to build hotel rooms and trying to stimulate the demand. But I'm also calling upon the parliament to review the law for what we call, I don't want to call the company, short-term rentals on applications and digitally, because this could enable lots and lots of capacity, which Egypt strongly needs now.
Yes, and do you see the future prosperous for the automotive industry here in Egypt, and more specifically for the electric vehicles?
I've said that before. I don't see an opportunity for Egypt in the traditional automotive sector. Nevertheless, there is a great opportunity for the electrical vehicles sector, as the mechanical or the traditional autos need a certain capacity. The electrical, that's an electrical component, is easier to manufacture, and Egypt should have a potential in producing batteries because lots of the minerals used in batteries are available. So there's great potential, especially that the local market is now also starting to rise, and people are interested, and we're getting experience in the manufacture and charging of electrical vehicles.
Yes, and from the industrial sector to the sector of mining here in the country, how do you see the prospects for Egypt to be a regional powerhouse in mining, especially after the activities of the Minister of Petroleum and Mineral Resources, Karim Badawi, in the past week, signing several agreements, one of them with the gold exploration agreement with the Turkish company OZ Mining?
Minister Badawi is a very active minister, coming from the multinational international sector. Mining has always been a great potential for Egypt, which was hidden or locked slightly because we still consider it, it's the difference between short-term and long-term gains. We put a lot of burden on the people interested in mining, which raises the cost, and that's the potential for Egypt. Maybe we should have an approach of easing the restrictions, because Egypt is one of the countries which has a diversity of minerals and metals and natural resources. So there's huge potential from the mining sector. I'm actually very optimistic that it could be as big as the oil and gas sector, or even more.
Yes, and speaking about the oil and gas sector, how do you see the chances for Egypt to be attracting foreign direct investments in this field?
Egypt has been traditionally, and in the last years, it was the main investment attraction for foreign companies for exploration, be that in gas and oil. So we are active, and the foreign direct investment in the petroleum sector has been on the forefront for several years. And with the current minister being there, I think that the potential is there for much more.
Yes, and the efforts of Egypt in terms of the gold deposits in the Egyptian Eastern Desert, how do you see the efforts of the government and the private sector to be assessing the deposits of gold in the desert?
It's very important because we need to know the amount of reserves and gold which are there. This gold, specifically in the desert, is gold which was found in early times. The king of Egypt left it for the generations to come, which is us. So we also need to keep it, not abusing the resources too much. Even if we have short-term pressure, we should know how much we have so we can also price it right. So it's about pricing, it's about sustainability for the resources, and lots more.
Yes, Dr. Osama Murad, the financial expert, thank you very much for being with us tonight on Nile TV International and Money Means Business. And as we did see with Dr. Osama Murad, the financial expert, that we had shed light on two of the important topics that we have seen for the past week. One of them is the meeting of Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli with Ahmed Al-Suwaidi and several officials from Suwaidi Electric to be discussing the future of the industry and the automotive sector, as well as tourism in the country for the near future. And as we did see for the second top story, the efforts of the Minister of Petroleum, Karim Badawi, the Minister of Petroleum and Mineral Resources, for the past week to be assessing the chances of Egypt excavating gold, the assets of gold in the Egyptian Eastern Desert, alongside the private sector and the foreign direct investments being represented with the Turkish company OZ Mining. I think we'll be joined over the phone as well with Dr. Mohammed Kafafi in a minute, the chairman of the International Council for the Green Economy, to be shedding more light on one of the main topics for Money Means Business for this week, which is the efforts of the mining sector and the efforts of the Minister of Petroleum and Mineral Resources, Karim Badawi, once again, but to be announcing an exceptional mining edition forum that will be held in the month of September in the attendance of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, something that we have had a report on, and as we did see, we will be shedding more light on this important topic. I think we could be having a quick break, and we'll be returning once again to you on Money Means Business. Welcome back. You're still watching Money Means Business, and this brings us to the end of the episode for this week. As we did see for the past 30 minutes, the input of Dr. Osama Murad, the financial expert, and the main topics that we have tackled. One of them was the meeting of Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli with officials and, more importantly, the chairman of Suwaidi Electric, Ahmed Al-Suwaidi, where they discussed the potential investments in the field of industry, and more specifically in the automotive sector and the future of the electric vehicles in the country. And as we did see as well, the future investments in the fields of mining, and what has happened for the past week, the Minister of Petroleum and Mineral Resources, Karim Badawi, signing an agreement for gold exploration in the Egyptian Eastern Desert with a Turkish company under the name of OZ Mining company from Turkey, as we did see for the past week. And for the month of September, we could be looking forward to an exceptional edition of the Egyptian Mining Forum under the patronage of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. Those statements were released by the Minister of Petroleum, Karim Badawi, from within the mining, the gold Sukkari mine from the Egyptian desert. And of course, we'll be looking forward to hosting such a mining forum in the month of September in the attendance of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, as well as the opportunity to be having potential investments in the field of mining for the years to come. And this brings us to the end of Money Means Business for this week. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.